Hello, welcome to KMVC News. I'm Anna Babiak. The first week of October had hundreds of alumni flooding campus and Marshall for homecoming weekend. This college has changed in many ways for most. Alumni, but it has also stayed the same. KMVC's Chardonnay, many people may come and go, but many traditions stay the same.
For decades, Missouri Valley College has hosted its annual torch run as a part of the Valley Homecoming tradition. All sports teams participate in the torch run with two athletes. The athletes run 3 laps around campus and track. Winners for both men's and women's side not only earn bragging rights, but also get to light the ceremonial bonfire with the ceremonial torch.
The torch run started, I think, back in 1958 when the football team was in a bowl game in Florida, and they ran the torch from Marshall, Missouri to Florida to the bowl game, and that was the start of it, and then it continued from that point.
At one point in the late 70s, the college took a break from the run while Mrs. Leslie was apart from the college. Not long after, tradition picked back up when he returned and the torch run rolled ever since.
It's been a neat thing to start the new tradition with the torch run around campus, the 5K.
As alumni flooded the football field and campus on Friday night, reminiscing about their time here at Missouri Valley College, the torch run showed them that at Missouri Valley College, tradition will roll. Chardonnay Parker, KMVC News.
The men's soccer team's Mark Page won first place in the 5K race. Missouri Valley women's basketball player Chanel Tolley had the fastest time on the women's side for the second consecutive year. To conclude Friday night's homecoming festivities in previous years, Missouri Valley's celebration featured a large bonfire. The new Fletcher building was built where the bonfire traditionally was, so KMVC's Alonzo Williams reports that this year the celebration was in the sky.
This year, to conclude the torch run activities, many Moval students, alumni, and staff came out for a great opportunity to fellowship with the whole community. Missouri Valley decided to try something new by having a firework display.
Well, due to our campus expanding and growing all throughout, our location that we had last year was limited to the Walker Fletcher building that was just completed. So we improvised and we decided to do a fireworks show just in case, or instead.
The event turned out to be one to remember and something to be continued in the future.
I think it's going to be a start of a new tradition. Valley went from the bonfire to the fireworks. I think this is going to be a step in just growing with our campus beliefs and values.
Alonzo Williams, KMVC News.
The firework display tied up festivities on Friday, but the homecoming weekend had just begun. Because the homecoming festivities continued on to Saturday for the main events. Students, faculty, and alumni enjoyed the parade, tailgating, the Viking football game, and the announcement of homecoming king and queen.
Go Valley!
Yeah! On Saturday, the streets of Marshall were filled with tie-dye and 1969 Woodstock-themed vehicles in celebration of this year's homecoming theme. This tradition includes floats created by various organizations on campus and in the Marshall community.
It's a great day. We have a lot of alumni back. We're putting in a football team into the Hall of Fame, so there's a lot of people around in the parade's just the beginning of today.
Festivities moved to the Viking tailgate zone, where students and alumni reminisced before attending the football game, and at halftime, after the cheer and dance performance, the homecoming king and queen were announced. Jake Briggs, homecoming king, and Raven Nevels, homecoming queen.
It was my first time ever running, and I didn't expect it.
Excitement was all around during this year's homecoming events. Also at halftime, the 2006 Missouri Valley College football team was inducted into the Athletic Hall of Fame. The Missouri Valley football team enters homecoming weekend coming off a win against Graceland and closing out its tour through the Heart of America Conference North Division against William Penn. And the Statesmen set the tone early. Opening drive, William Penn quarterback Alex Creon scored from 3 yards out to give Penn a 7-0 lead. That was the first of 3 touchdowns for Creon on the afternoon, including this 20-yard run in the third quarter. Creon ran for 70 yards on 15 carries and those 3 scores. Penn built a 34-0 lead before Missouri Valley scored. The Vikings' Jake Bridges hit Wayne Grant in the back of the end zone for a 3-yard score early in the fourth quarter. 2 minutes later, Bridges found James Denton for a 24-yard score. Bridges finished 16 of 26 for 176 yards with 2 touchdowns and 1 interception. He was named the Chitwood Award winner as the outstanding senior in the homecoming game for his performance. William Penn ended the game without a single yard passing, but with 358 yards on the ground, and the Statesmen beat the Vikings in Valley's homecoming game 41-14. The Missouri Valley soccer teams moved their games to Friday afternoon for homecoming weekend to accommodate all of the festivities, and the men's team was looking for a more festive result than it had seen in the last couple weeks. After climbing to the top of the NAIA poll and a number 1 ranking, the Vikings went 1-3. Valley tried to turn things around against visiting Graceland, a team that the Vikings are 10-0-2 against in their last 12 games. 15th minute of the first half, Matteo Ruggeri scores on the second chance opportunity to give the Vikings a 1-0 lead. Later in the first half, Luka Glucevic finds Dominic Newton with a pass that splits a couple of defenders, and the Vikings went into the half with a 2-0 lead. After Graceland scored to make it 2-1, Ruggeri scored his second of the game, knocking in the rebound. Ruggeri finished with 2 goals and an assist, and Valley topped Graceland 3-1. The Missouri Valley women's soccer team began their doubleheader with a matinee against the Yellow Jackets. Valley's Paula Inklin took a pass from Tatiana Silva and scored in the game's 19th minute to give the Vikings a 1-0 advantage. The Vikings controlled most of the first half action, outshooting the Jackets 9-1. Second half action. In the 70th minute, Yvette Bellman scored for Missouri Valley. Graceland pulled within 1 with a goal in the 89th minute, but in the final minute, Valley's Ashlyn Floyd put the game away. Missouri Valley evens its conference mark at 2-2-1. Both teams are back in action on October 8th against Evangel. The Viking Sports Network is carrying both games. The link is available on valleyWillRoll.com. A major part of homecoming week is seeing waves of alumni who once graced the halls of Missouri Valley College. KMVC's Nick Fields has the story of one Viking alum who made his return to inspire Valley's mass communication department.
Please warm welcome for the Missouri Valley Mass Communications Department was treated with a special guest during homecoming week, Viking alum and award-winning radio personality Lee Peak.
I had a lot of people that influenced my career here, and if I have an opportunity to come back and maybe influence a few here as well, and can return the favor, that's a great opportunity.
Peak discussed how his time at Missouri Valley and his relationship with former professor Lauren Gruber helped teach him important lessons and shaped his career.
I've been very blessed to have the career that I've had, to be able to do some of the things that I've done, to have the gifts that have been given to me, and so if I can take those and use those, then that's a big deal for me. And that was one of the things that he taught me, was just to work hard, work ethic. That's what I walked away with from Gruber with.
Peak also says why one of the most important things students can learn is failure.
Figuring out how to embrace it and capitalize off of it. It's easy to capitalize off of success, right? It's a little harder to capitalize off of failure, but it can be done. And it has to be done, because nobody's ever successful 100% of the time.
One person especially excited about Peak coming to talk to current students is Mass Communications Professor Ken Koyava.
But I think it's important to hear from someone who's actually in the business. They'll tell you what you can do, what you can't, some of the things that we probably forget about teaching you in class, the things in commercial radio you need to do.
Peak has been recognized as one of Missouri Valley's outstanding alumni and has won numerous broadcasting awards. Nick Fields, KMVC News.
Peak is currently working and living in Wisconsin, but says Missouri Valley always has a special place in his heart. For Peak and for all of the alumni returning to campus, the trip brings back memories and allows them to catch up with old friends. Wearing school's gear is a reminder of letting them know that they are still a part of their college's family. KMVC's Ruya Sakamoto reports on Missouri Valley College products and sales during homecoming week.
Homecoming is when the alumni come back to the school they graduate from. Many of them wear college gear to represent their school. Viking Athletic Goods takes all the requests from the customers to help them to get their own Mizzou college gear.
The fall is obviously a big time because we have a lot of parents coming in and out, but homecoming is a very busy time and it's getting better every year. It seems like a lot of people are wanting to come back, and there's a reason to come back because it's very welcoming and it's their history, and we can do anything because everybody always wants something different, and we try to make that happen for them.
Potter says he likes the people in the community. He enjoys and takes his business seriously.
You know, I love helping people. They give me a task to we do a lot of custom printing, a lot of on-the-spot type of orders. You kind of have to figure out what your customer wants and what you need, and that's what we try to do. Like I said, a small business, you have to do that type of thing to survive, and that's how it's been our success.
Viking Athletic Goods is founded by two former MVC football teammates. Their passion and desire to provide quality athletic equipment have been taken over by second generation. Ryuya Sakamoto, KMVC News.
One of the stores is on campus, the other is on the square in Marshall. An online store is also available for Viking Athletic Goods. Missouri Valley College kicked off its annual Spirit Week leading up to the weekend's events with a banner war. Organizations and clubs were encouraged to create banners and enter the contest. The banners all had to be released to the homecoming theme, Peace, Love, Vikings. Banners from the International Club, Campus Activities Council, Art Club, and the school's sorority and fraternity teamed up to design a banner as well. All banners were hung in the Malcolm Center during homecoming week for faculty, staff, students, and alumni to admire. Missouri Valley created some wearable artwork for the weekend. The theme of Peace, Love, Vikings is celebrating the 50th anniversary of Woodstock, the moon landing, and the summer of '69. Tie-dye t-shirts have history of protest against the Vietnam War and promotion of peace and love. Students tie-dyed t-shirts with vibrant colors and psychedelic designs. The shirts stand out among other people's clothing that they usually wear. The University of Missouri contributed a big amount of money to the City of Columbia to develop a championship-level cross-country course in the Gans Creek Recreation Area Complex on the east side of the city. The Gans Creek cross-country course is the home course for Mizzou, along with local high schools and other colleges. KMVC's Scott Beasley reports on Missouri Valley's first trip to the course that's in its first year.
The Missouri Valley Vikings cross-country teams raced at Gaines Creek cross-country course, home to the University of Missouri. The course was designed to host major cross-country championship events.
I was the landscape architect and senior planner. I was in charge of kind of creating the layout and coming across to develop a course that integrated a lot of the different aspects of cross-country running, not from just a great running perspective, but also spectator and training expectations. Just really growing. The social media explosion has really taken off. It's gaining a lot of traction and a lot of interest around the country as a premier cross-country facility, and we hope to be hosting some national championships very soon.
I love the course. I mean, they made this thing just for cross-country. I mean, it's got an irrigation system. It's a future site of the SEC championships in 2021. So, I mean, this is a cross-country course. So, to answer your question, I love it. It was unbelievable.
Boring said that both teams ran strong and hit the times that they needed to hit in this part of the season.
The course was a really good course. It was nice and flat with a couple of hills. It was a good, fun race. Of course, that everyone can run fast at no matter what level you are. And I feel like this is intermediate all the way to experienced runners.
The Missouri Valley College men's team placed third overall in the entire meet. The women's team placed individually. The Missouri Valley team will be returning to Gaines when they have another meet. Scott Beasley, KMVC News.
Valley cross-country coach Dale Boring says the team plans to return every time the University of Missouri hosts a cross-country meet. Missouri Valley student Fafete Lamatu is from American Samoa, and though she didn't have an easy childhood and things would knock her down, she didn't let that dictate her happiness. KMVC's Erica Moreno reports that once she discovered music was her passion, she entered a talent show and the outcome was something unexpected.
Fafete performed an original song titled Daddy's Little Girl at a talent show. She says that there were a lot of talented people that performed and had stage presence that she didn't have at the time, but despite all of that, she ended up winning and had the opportunity to record her song professionally and make a music video.
I would honestly say I didn't like how they produced it because the lyrics and the track, they're two different worlds. The lyrics are saying something else and the track is just kind of misleading. But the track was really good, but I personally do not think that it was fit for the lyrics.
The vocal coach says that Lamatu is naturally talented and gifted.
She doesn't read a note of music when she came here, and now in a month's time she's pretty much reading all of treble and bass clefs. She's getting the rhythms, but honestly I believe she could be the hardest worker on this campus as far as in the music department. She cares, she's here for a purpose, and you can see that purpose in her work.
After graduation, she plans on going back to the island and give back to her community by teaching music. This is Erica Moreno, KMVC News.
Line says that she is working with Lamatu on tall vowels and vertical space so that she expands her repertoire in order for Lamatu to be more marketable than she already is. Snake Eyes, box cards, and the luck of the draw had some Missouri Valley students doubling down during the school's annual casino night on October 1st. Missouri Valley's Casino Night is a night to take the edge off of class and sports and participate in a little bit of recreational gambling. Students and faculty all took part in the fun-filled event to compete for prizes. The raffle ticket winners were awarded with bikes, PS4s, and many other personal items. That's the news for this week. Thanks for watching. I'm Anna Babiak, and this is KMVC News.